What's going on, K Squad? We are here today to do a little recap, a little review of episode 2 of BTS's Burn the Stage. The first one I did, I was just basically talking about it. This one, I'm actually going to go through it a little bit more. Obviously, I can't do the actual reaction of this, like I said in the previous videos, because there's copyright strikes and all that jazz, because it's a YouTube Red series. So we're just going to go in depth and talk about what we watched, how we feel about the stuff that we watched, and kind of just go through each kind of little scene in the documentary, talk about it, talk about how we feel about it, and as I said, or as I've said in the first one, please leave comments down below of what you thought about the episode, different things in it. Your boy, let's do the cry tally. Last time I cried 2 times. This episode I cried 3 times. So we went up 1 cry this episode, and I feel like most people probably cried a little more in this one because there was some more emotional things, especially near the end with Jungkook and Jimin, and there's some sad things going on that kind of tugged at the heartstrings. But let's start at the beginning, shall we? So at the beginning here, we have them kind of talking about rehearsals and what kind of goes into rehearsals, how they want to make each show incredibly special for the audience, how much work goes into it, and how nervous they get doing it. But how much is basically just talking about how much preparation actually goes into performing the show, planning to perform it, all the different stuff they do in rehearsals. Each kind of member is talking about what's going on. We see them talking to like stage directors and managers, like Jimin's talking about here, how he's worried about all the movement he's going to be doing while also holding like some of these stronger, higher notes. And the dude's like, well, you can lower it by half a key, and then Jimin's like, that's gonna sound like shit, I can't do that. And then we kind of see something about like this kind of comes back, you know, later in the episode, when Jimin, his voice cracks a little bit and he gets upset about it. And they kind of continue talking about it, different members like Yoongi here. They continue to talk about how much preparation, like I said, what they're kind of doing differently this tour compared to the Red Bullet stuff, and how they kind of want to incorporate way more movement. They kind of want to fill the stage a lot more. They want to do a lot more newer and cooler stuff for ARMY, which I think is awesome because they're awesome. And they're just pushing themselves to work as hard as possible to put on like the best show possible for us. Then we get to see a little bit more of the rehearsal, a little bit more of the members talking about the rehearsal, and then we see Jungkook here talking about how it's so exhausting. And once again, we're gonna get a call back to this later in the episode when it really gets exhausting. And then we hop into their first actual concert. We start with they're beginning the Wings tour in Seoul, of course, in Korea, and we see how many people actually showed up to the concert. So many ARMYs were there. BTS members talk about being so excited but being so nervous because this is the beginning of everything. They want to start the show. They want to start the tour with a bang. You know, you don't want to start the tour off with like, you know, bleh, then it might mess up the rest of the tour. But they're all just talking about how nervous they are, how excited they are to put on a show for their Korean ARMYs. Then we have Namjoon's little speech. Everyone's talking before the concert how they want this to be a special performance. They've been working so hard for this. They are prepared for this. Namjoon's like, this is good. Like, we prepared for this. We've done music shows for this. We've been working hard for this. Don't be nervous. We got this. Don't worry. Bye time. And then they go out on the stage. Then we have them actually performing in front of the audience. It's going very well. How could it not? They are literally perfect. I would love to see them one day. Please come to Toronto. Please, for the love of God. God, I would die. Anyway, yeah, our ARMY's loving them. They kind of cut away to BTS a few times, talking about how special it makes them feel on stage, how Yoongi says this will never be enough. Like, I can never just say this is enough. He wants to just keep doing it and keep, you know, getting bigger and doing bigger and better shows. Then we have BTS talking about how much they love ARMY, which is, you know, I feel like they're always talking about how much they love us, and we're always talking about how much we love them. I love this relationship that we have with them. They're talking about on stage, they were thanking everyone and talking about how much they love them, thanking them for helping them get the awards because they just won their daesang, their first one actually. After this concert was just after they won some of their first daesangs, and they were talking about how much that meant to them and thanking ARMY. And then BTS was just talking about how ARMY, you know, supports them and they're amazed by the support. And literally, I would support them. I would support them if they said, you know, we can't do this anymore. This is too mentally frustrating. It works us too hard. We can't do this anymore. I would be like, you know, do you? I don't care. Like, I'll support anything you do. If you decide to be a quilter, I would completely support you. Literally, I would support them. I support them not for I do support them for their music because first and foremost, I fell in love with them for their music. but I support them for them, the human beings they are. I support them. I would support them with anything they do. You know what I mean? You feel me? This part we have Namjoon talking about he's talking about armies and the fans and how he says he doesn't just want to be like, artists to them, just like artists that they, I don't know how to explain. He doesn't want the armies to be like just fans, you know what I mean? Just fans. He wants to become a part of their life, like he says here. What's the full quote is really good. We want to look into their eyes and see what kind of lives they lead and become part of the lives of those that love us, so that we can be a big help to them. You know what I mean? So he wants to learn about the stories of armies, how they can be a better help to them. They don't want to just be like musicians, artists that they look up to as far as just because they're just like people that they like, people that they listen to their music, see them on TV, blah, blah, blah. No, like they want to be like literally close to army, you know what I mean? Like helpful, help us, go through stuff, you know what I mean? Like overcome things. And I don't know, it's a very special time, like a very special quote, I was pretty damn touched, I was near them cries. This could have been my fourth cry, but it wasn't. I was like, I held back tears. I was like, you know what? It's good, man. I want to be that person for you guys too, you know what I mean? It was really tough, but it was really nice. It was a very beautiful quote. Namjoon is very good with words. We all know that. Then they have Hobie's little birthday celebration where they're all very cute. They're singing happy birthday, and then Hobie drops the cake on a very expensive bag, which is very adorable, and I love this part. And then a nice little message at the end talking about how we want to spread our wings and fly together, our spring day. It's a very nice message to end the tour, the first show in Seoul. And then that concludes kind of the first little part of this episode, you know what I mean? And then we have classic clumsy ass Namjoon. This had me making this. Sorry. This was making me laugh that Namjoon lost his passport. By the way, look at that Gucci belt. Are you kidding me? Oh no, Yoongi. Yeah, Namjoon loses his passport just like he did a year before when they were doing Bon Voyage. And he loses his passport again. I don't know how he does this. He does clumsy things so much for being such a smart dude. He's just very clumsy. And everyone's like so worried. Everyone's like freaking out. And then Namjoon's like, I don't know where it is. And then someone finally finds it and everyone's very happy. And it was a funny, cute moment in this episode. And then we have them finally entering Chile and crazy army fans being very excited to see them. And BTS was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, people love us. And then this part in the bus where they're saying, what was that? Cool. And Namjoon's like, if you're cool, you say, what was that? What was that? Not what was? Everyone's like, what was that? And Namjoon's like, no. It's like, what was that? And then like Jungkook's trying to copy him. So funny. I was dying at this part. Did you hear that? Dying. I was dying at this part. First of all, look how good Jin looks. But second of all, when Tae said, can you speak more slush? I fucking gagged. I was laughing so hard. Then they had a nice little meal in Chile with them and the staff. Everyone who supports BTS. Shout out to the staff, by the way. We had a nice appreciation for them on Twitter. And they tweeted back. Big entertainment. So I love the support that armies have been giving the staff. Because they deserve it so much. They take care of the boys very well. But I guess Yoongi was working hard producing music, doing things like that, so he wasn't at the dinner, and then Hobie went and brought him his dinner, and then literally Yoongi didn't even come out. He just like, give me the food, and he went back inside. I thought that was hilarious. So now they're talking about Chile, and they're like, holy shit, it's different. Like, people are going wild, like they love us in Chile, and they're like talking about how crazy Chile is, the weather, and just the people, and they're talking about such an interesting and different experience, and they're like, they couldn't believe how crazy the fans were and how excited they were to see them. And they're talking about the show, their first show in Chile. It was so hot and everyone was just so intense, and like their intensity was building off each other, you know what I mean, from the fans to BTS, and it just made for such an intense, incredible show. And I think that would have been amazing to be at. And here we see Jungkook getting a little tired. There's some cutaway shots of Jungkook being a little tired, so we get a little bit of a lead up to eventually when he gets very tired. Then we have a little cutaway to Jimin talking about how he doesn't put as much time into showing him a better version of himself on stage, working so incredibly hard to be like perfect on stage. He kind of puts his time into other things that he loves to do, which is completely fine, Jimin. That's completely fine, 100%. And he says he gains a lot more from doing the things when he relaxes and does the things he loves, so he doesn't want to think about regretting that kind of stuff. But then he talks about being very nervous for his individual song and how much that individual song and performance means to him. And then a heartbreaking moment where I cried right here. I cried right here. Jimin feeling very disappointed in himself, very upset that his voice cracked. He feels like he let armies down, and he feels like he felt so poorly, and the staff member was like, it's okay, don't worry about it. No, he was like very, very upset. He just talks about how he had a sore throat and how it's so hard, and like he can't control when his voice cracks, and he felt so terrible about it. But it's like, dude, it's okay, it's very natural, it's human. You're pushing yourself so hard. If your voice cracks, that's okay. No one's gonna be upset with you. You're the only one who's upset, and I just felt so sad. I wish I could give him a big hug. And then we have another part where I cried. Jungkook being so fucking tired that he couldn't even breathe. He was sweating so much. People needed to air him down. He was like, he said he was talking about how he overestimated himself. And he tried hard to make sure he was going to be okay for these shows by preparing the days before, trying to be healthy. But it still like was too much for him. He was so tired. It broke my heart seeing him so tired, and just, it broke my heart so much. Then we have the other members talking about Jungkook and how he looks so, like Hobie's talking to the other Hobie's clearly very, very tired. He's getting ice pack on him. He's literally so tired, but he's saying, like, guys, check on Jungkook. He looked so exhausted. And I love that he's caring for Jungkook. And Jungkook's talking about he's pushing himself so hard because it was a long time since they came to Chile. They don't know when they're going to be in Chile again, so he wanted to put on the best show ever. And he just overworked himself, and it was, it hurt so much to watch. Then this part, I was crying more. Oh my god, Namjoon trying to like make sure Jungkook is okay, and he's like, Jungkook, just take it easy. It's okay. You don't need to push yourself so hard. But Namjoon talking about in this moment how it's so hard when you're a leader of this big, huge group, BTS, and you need to put on a performance. You need to put on an amazing show, but you also want to be there for Jungkook as a friend, and you want to make sure he's okay. So he's kind of caught up in this inner battle with himself where he's like, okay, I really need to take care of Jungkook as one of my closest friends, but I also need to take care of the group and him as a leader. And it made me think about how much pressure Namjoon has on him, and how important Namjoon is to this group, because he is the leader, but he's also best friends with everyone else, because like it must be so difficult, and he bears the most burden out of anyone in BTS, and it's tough for him, and he talks about how tough it is right here, and I just felt so bad that he has to do so much, and he never complains about it. And I just think Namjoon is a special human being, and we fucking don't deserve him, but we got him, and everyone needs to support him so much. And then we have them closing the show, and Jimin's like, I know sometimes we can't be perfect, but there's like, at the very least, we want to show them like an amazing experience, an amazing concert. And it's like, obviously you can't be perfect, like as perfect as you guys seem, no one's perfect, and it's just, you can't expect perfection from BTS. You can't expect perfection from anyone. So they basically talk about when they go to countries like Chile, places they know they're not going to see very much. They want to go there and show them like the most freaking amazing show, something that they will never forget for the rest of their lives. And sometimes they just push themselves too hard. And it's like, dude, I understand you want to put on an amazing show, but you guys can scale it back a bit. I don't want you to freaking kill yourselves from working so hard. And then we get a little preview for the next episode, and I'm just so excited for episode 3, which is going to be coming in 3 or 4 days, and I'm just 3 days now, I guess. Very excited for the next episode, and of course I'll do another review for that one as well. Thank you guys very much for joining for this little recap review. Let me know how you guys thought the episode went, what your feelings were on it, how it made you feel, what you expect from episode 3, all that fun stuff in the comments. Thanks for supporting me. Thanks for supporting BTS. They are truly legends, and I can't wait to watch the next 5 episodes. 6 episodes, sorry. I'm just so excited to see this documentary, and it's already made me feel so much closer to them, and that's all I could ever ask for. I love them so much, and I love you guys so much. So I hope you had a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed the video, and remember, 펑트 없어도 돼요.
Click clack to the bang bang. I'm a boy of the bang tang. Me and you, we would never bang bang. I'm a boy of the bang tang. Yeah, let me do my thing. You were never really my friend. You can't do it, but I can. You were never really my friend.